regards to research at the postgraduate level, its challenges and solutions. Thank you for joining us. Over to Dr. Farooq Rathore.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saida. Can you see my slides clearly?
Yes, absolutely. Perfect.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
thank you very much. I'll try to be as quick and to the point as possible. I have just started my timer. 5 minutes is the limit. So the sources for this particular presentation are mainly three. So I focused on the local national literature. I do a lot of training workshops. I have conducted around 90 workshops on research, writing, ethics, communication skills all around Pakistan and abroad as well. In addition, I have been doing this formal mentoring through an author aid, which is a global platform for the last 10 years. So obviously, when I do mentoring, when I do training workshops, I get a lot of feedback from my colleagues who tell me what are the challenges that they are facing while they do research. And I'm going to talk about those. Many good points have already been covered by the worthy panelists and the speakers. So I'll only try to focus on two main things and the possible solutions that we can have. The first is I would like to highlight is lack of support and guidance. So everyone was talking about the research culture. So the research culture cannot generate in a environment where you do not have a proper research support. And the ground reality is, unfortunately, in Pakistan, there are 169 medical colleges as of today, but very few institutes value and support research on ground. If you want to have a proof, just simply see this ranking by the Higher Education Commission, which was published back in year 2015. Aga Khan University has been consistently rated as one of the most productive medical universities in Pakistan. If you simply go at number 13, you would see the productivity of the university at number 13 is almost 1/3 the research productivity of Aga Khan. And if you go beyond that, probably the last 50 universities, their combined impact is less than the impact of what Aga Khan is making in the world today. So you need to understand that you cannot have a research culture if your institute is not supporting that, number one. The second issue that has been highlighted many times by my resident colleagues, trainees, and also in the research published in Pakistan is the issue with supervisors. It is something that is not mostly talked about, but it is something that can have a lot of negative impact on the research culture in Pakistan. So what are the issues? Number one, many supervisors have a very busy schedule. They are mostly busy in attending their patients, and they cannot give adequate time to their resident or trainees or students. Unfortunately, as someone already mentioned, the driving factor for most of the faculty and supervisors to engage in research is not the altruistic research itself. It is actually to strengthen their CV and get the promotion as per the criteria of PMDC and HEC as soon as possible. And the most important point that we need to understand, highlight, and probably address is a lack of research skills with the supervisors as well. So at least in case of in CPSP supervisor, all you need to do is you do 4 workshops, and then you do your FCPS 4 workshops, and then you are provided with a certificate of being a supervisor. Nobody actually gauges that are you really interested, and can you actually mentor and provide training support to your trainee or not. Now the question arises, why do you need a mentor or supervisor? You need them because, if I have seen further, it is by standing upon the shoulder of giants. We all need these kind of supporters, mentors, and giants in our personal and professional life. And having a good, honest mentor who can provide you support and direction can make a lot of difference in your research careers. Now, the problem is, if you don't get a mentor in your own institute, in your own organization, you don't have to worry. Please make the best use of the online resources available. Go online and explore this website, authoraid.info. I myself started as a mentee, as a student on this website 10 years back, and now I'm mentoring others. You can go and explore this website. It's free of cost. It's a global network of 20,000 researchers, including many doctors, physicians, and healthcare providers. Simply go and explore this website. And a good news for all of you who are attending this session, AuthorAid is going to start their next massive online open access course on research writing on 8th of September. There is still time. Please enroll in that course and learn from global experts how to write and publish your research in a high impact biomedical journal. The other challenge that resident and postgraduate trainees have identified is lack of appropriate knowledge, training, and skills in research methodology. For example, a research was done co-authored by Dr. Sajida in Islamabad, in which they identified that less than 20% of the postgraduate resident had a good knowledge of epidemiology. So you can't do good research if you don't have a good grasp on biostatistics and epidemiology. Then there's challenge of topic selection. How should I select my topic? Unfortunately, the consultants or the supervisors don't have time. They don't give much direction, and the people and the students are confused. If they start doing work, they have issues with literature search skills and accessing the full text of the article that they download or they want to download. Even if they cover all these challenges, the major issue comes with writing skills. Unfortunately or fortunately, we are not English speaking people. English is our second language, and we have to learn how to converse and write in English. And English is the global language of science. You have to publish in English language. And even if you do good research, if you cannot convert that research into good writing, good English, unfortunately, it won't be published. And this is a very major issue right now in Pakistan, that unfortunately, because of these challenges, not only faculty, but residents are also engaging in these things. They pay for their synopsis, they pay for their thesis, they pay for their articles. They get their degrees and they become faculty members. A person who comes to a position with corrupt practices cannot impart honest training to his or her trainees. That's for sure. And Professor Iqbal gave you a couple of Quranic hadiths and ayats as well. But the point is, there's one way of just complaining. And then there's another way of looking at the glass as half full. So if you really want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. So if you are really interested, even if your supervisor or your seniors don't support you, there are multiple opportunities available online that you can explore free of cost and enhance your own learning and training in research and writing. For example, Coursera. For example, edX. These are part of the massive online open access courses, and these are available free of cost. Hundreds of courses on research, writing, biostatistics, epidemiology, public health are available for everyone to enroll and make best use of. If you want to know some ideas about research, if you want to identify the research gaps, please go online on clinicaltrials.gov. More than 250,000 research proposals and titles are registered on that website. If you want to learn how to do good literature search, please go online and explore the National Library of Medicine or the MESH database tutorials. So MESH is Medical Subject Heading Database, and these tutorials are available free of cost for everyone. If you want full text, go online on Sci-Hub. Now, there are some controversies that whether it is legal or illegal or that copyright issue, but the issue is that as a researcher, I cannot pay $60 for every article that I want to read. So I have to go to some website, and Sci-Hub is the lifesaver. It is the world's largest database having more than 70 million articles, including many biomedical articles. There's a 95% chance that whatever article you're looking for, you are going to get on Sci-Hub. And if you're really interested in improving your skills in English writing, you can always go on the this Purdue Online Writing Lab. It's a fantastic lab. Online skills are imparted through tutorials, videos, and exercises. So options are available. It all depends on you whether you're really interested in improving your skills or not. So the take-home message would be, number one, stop complaining and start focusing on solutions. Number two, ask for help from your seniors, from your peers, and from your juniors. My mentor and my supporter and my teacher in biostatistics is actually my junior student, because his understanding of biostatistics is much better than mine. And I have no issues in asking him for help whenever I need help in biostatistics. Self-development is the key to develop professionally and personally in the 21st century. You have to take control of your own learning. And you can use all the things that I just shared with you. So as they say, do not wait. The time will never be just right. Start where you stand and work whatever tools you may have at your command. And better tools will be found as you go along. So don't wait for tomorrow. Start today, start exploring, learn and share, and hopefully you'll do well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Farooq Azam Rathore, for a very composite presentation in which you talked about the real challenges that are faced and focusing primarily on the solutions, which is actually the gateway for doing research. And very rightly said that focus on solutions and the self-development. So this is the time, especially with regards to, since we are also on this webinar, in times when it is the time of pandemic, and partial lockdown is already around. So in these times, the self development, self motivation, and online teaching and everything, curriculum development has taken place. So that provokes that obviously research can be carried out, and with so many solutions that you have offered. Thank you so much for sharing so many sites which are very, very beneficial for students, for faculty, for each one of us. So aapse, Dr. Farooq Azam, because you have plenty of experience in this, so our question to you is from one of the audience, our faculty member, is that like what the in submitting your article and getting it published is quite long in almost every journal. So it takes a huge time before the article gets published. So number one, in your expert opinion, what do you think? How can that time be minimized? Suggested, what would be your suggestions? And secondly, with that, many a times, like this is the time for corona studies on related to COVID-19. So if they get published after 6 months, probably they will not have any importance at that time in time. So such studies lose their, their reading worth is actually minimized. So in order to minimize the time, processing time for getting an article published, what would be your suggestions? Because Shifa is also on its way to having it's already issuing its journal. So this will also help us also.
Okay, thank you for this question. Very pertinent question. So I would give you a couple of ideas based on my own experience. First of all, at least for most of the international journals, they clearly tell you the timelines in which they usually review the article and get to a decision. So for example, if a journal clearly mentions that their turnaround time is 6 months to 8 months, so I'm sorry, but I mean, just requesting them might not make any sense, and they are still going to do their job or their peer review in 6 to 8 months, number one. So you probably go to good journals who do this peer review in let's say in 6 weeks time or in less than 2 months time. That's the first thing. So you read the instruction to authors. That's the first thing. Second could be that there are many journals that offer a fast track publication. So just for example, Pakistan Journal of Medical Sciences, for an extra 20,000 rupees, they offer this fast track publication in which they would definitely review and give you a definite answer to your article submission within 4 weeks time. So if you have a little bit extra amount of money and little amount of time, you might want to explore that kind of option. But the third and the most important, which I personally feel, is your article should be as good as possible, as perfect as possible. So spend some time in pre-planning and creating a good article so that it does not go through a long peer review process and multiple rounds of review, and that might actually save you a lot of time.